Over the past week in Hypixel Skyblock, I joined the Rift over 200 times to obtain hundreds of resources, including cruxes, boss fragments, props, living hearts, overpriced boats, and agreements with vampires that look like plants, all to obtain this, the most powerful necklace in the entire game. And so today, I'm going to show you exactly how I obtained this and how you can as well. I started off by talking to Elise, who told me that I had to gain 8 time charms in order to get the Rift necklace fully maxed. The first one was the Supreme Timecharm. To obtain the Supreme Timecharm, I would have to go to the Black Lagoon, where I would fight the Leech boss, collect Hedgehog spines, and collect bottled Odonatas as well. Okay, so we just fought the Leech boss, so I think this should allow us to craft the Supreme Timecharm. Yep, there we go. So we need Supreme Fragments, and then Spines, Odonatas, and Pads. Great. So I believe we just hop over here, we just kill these guys. Great. Pads, we can just go here. Great, so now we just need the Odonatas. Okay, so the Odonatas can be difficult sometimes, but basically all I have to do is place the silk here, and here, and then just do this, and I actually might be too far away.
Bruh.
Just click on the stick, and then just stand here with the bottle. Great. There's the Odonata. And once you do all that and craft the Supreme Timecharm, it goes right here. And then once you do that, you should be able to get your Rift Timecharm. Which I already have mine, but you'll get the base one, which isn't as good, but still pretty good. Okay, so for the next Timecharm, basically you have to talk to Shamia, who will tell you to harvest these crops. So for this one, you just mine from the top down. This one you just hit whichever one the particles are on. And then for the mushrooms, you just have to look at them until they turn red. There we go. And then once you hit 40 of each, you bring them to this Shamia, and then you can craft your Bear Burst blowgun, which you just shoot the chicken, and then you get a metaphoric egg, which you can then use to craft the Chicken and Egg Timecharm with 8 metaphoric eggs, 2 bunches, a Kakiduka's bunch, an Agarius bunch, and then a proto chicken, which you get for bringing the 2 bundles at the very start. Okay, great. So with that done, we can now move on to the Mirrorverse. Basically here you just have to complete a bunch of puzzles, so as you can see by flipping those levers, the door opens. Oh, and you can see yourself in the mirror, which is pretty cool. This one, you just have to basically follow the mirrors. You can jump over it and stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. This one's pretty simple. You basically just have to kill these guys. And then you basically craft backwards fishing rods and stuff until you get, let's see what it is. Yeah, here it is. The tiny hammer. This one's just a parkour, you just have to look up above at which one to jump to, and then you just follow that to the end. For this one, you basically just have to activate each mirror so that you can go through the door. Like, activate this one, and then that one, which freezes the other one. And then this one. And that's basically how you do this. This room has been the bane of pretty much every player's existence, but basically all you have to do is stand on this block and then do what it tells you to do. So it starts with pretty easy off with just like moving and stuff, and then eventually you'll get to like sneaking, and as you can see, like I passed it because I was going too fast. So basically you don't want to have too much speed because otherwise you'll pass the block. But also try to have a good amount of speed that you can get to the block in time. And like make sure you're like focusing on the block, like look down, and the mirrors just make it harder So just look down. And then, so yeah, as you can see, for me, luckily, it was already done, so I could just like phase through the floor, but if you're having trouble, I would look up a guide on like how to complete it, but it's pretty difficult. And then basically this final room, all you have to do is basically you aim at the block on the mirror, and then it'll point to where the block is in the like the actual overworld. So as you can see, you just like point at it, and then it shows you where the barrier block is to jump onto. And if you can complete all of it without using checkpoints, then you'll get a nice free talisman. Great, and now we can just try the Mirrorverse Timecharm. Okay, next up we have the Skyblock Citizen Timecharm. This one isn't too difficult. You basically just have to talk to Barry, go out here, and then talk to all the protesters out here. And their questions are pretty easy to answer, except for this one person here named Soma. And basically for the last question, the amount of mochios is 32,000. So that's probably the most difficult one, but as long as you click 32,000 on the final one, you should be fine. And then he'll basically give you a pen, which you can come back here. And with his pen and some scribe cruxes, grab the Citizen Timecharm. This one was probably the easiest one to get. Okay, for the living cave, the first thing you want to do is kill these auto nulls. And then you basically just have to break these blocks here. And you can... And then once you do that, they give you nullified metal, which using either Tactician's Murder Weapon or Leech Sword, you can craft into Self-Recursive Pickaxe. And then once you do that, you basically want to come over here and mine this living metal, which is just this lapis. Wait for the snake to go away. Goodbye. And basically, you just want to try and mine 40 of it in a row. And that'll give you 20 living metal. I'll just go with 10 here. Okay, great. And with living metal, you can go ahead and craft boot spawns. Oh, why are you here? And basically with the boot spawn, you just place it and then kill it. And then it drops these diamond blocks, which you have to stand in the particles. So like you have to stand right on top of it. And then once you kill it, you can right click its boots, and those will juice up your boots. And once you get boots, helmets, chestplate, and leggings to 100%, you can go ahead and hop down here. Once you're down here, you basically just want to go ahead and kill these frozos here. And then once they get to low health, you just have to mine this, and you kill them, you get some cruxes, and with that and a bunch of living metal, you can craft the living Timecharm. And basically you want to mine living metal down here because you get double the amount of living metal that you would. Like as you can see, I mine like 4 living metal here, and it gives me 2 living metal instead of like 1. So it's really good. If you mine 40 living metal in a row, you'll end up getting 40 living metal instead of 20. And by just doing a few minutes of that, you should secure yourself the living Timecharm. Okay, so the Globulate Timecharm isn't too bad. As you can see, people here are actually fighting back there right now. So I'll just go ahead and finish it off. Basically, just with 8 Bacti fragments and some shy cruxes, you can get the Globulate Timecharm. To fight him, I would just recommend getting a few people and doing it like as a group. He has 5 stages. It usually takes like 10 to 15 minutes to kill him, but it's honestly not too bad. And then finally, once you obtain your Globulate Timecharm, just come over to the barriers. Oh, I don't have enough. Anyways, basically once you enter the barrier street, you just would come over here. And you can pay 150,000 moch, which I wouldn't recommend in order to skip this, but it's honestly not that bad, especially if you have AOTL. And you basically... Anyways, you basically just want to jump over the beams here, and you can like teleport if you get hit by one. Or sometimes you get lagged back, that works too. And then once you're done with that, you can use phaser to skip it every other time. And then all you have to do is grab yourself a rift boat, talk to this guy. Oh, and the rift boat is obtained from Reed, who is in the lagoon. And you just have to complete his quest, grab some items, and then you can get this. And you're gonna need 25,000 motes as well to pay for it. Once you do that, talk to Maddox, kill some vampires, and then with them, you can craft a healing melon, which will then allow you to unlock the Slayer quest. Now, do be mindful here. If you die, you basically go to jail and have to kill like a bunch of guards to get out. But in order to obtain the final time charm, it does take a long time, so I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you're maxed out and you have all the stuff. I wouldn't do it, so I can just show you the recipe. Let me just cancel this. And basically, once you hit Slayer level 3, here you can craft the Vampiric Timecharm, which is 12 blood badges and 3 wilted bearberry bunches. And basically, with that, the blood badge is just a bunch of cruxes, about a stack of coven seals, and then 2 of each of the boss's fragments. So basically, you need to kill the boss 3 times, each boss 3 times, and then get like 6, I think, or no, 24 of each crux, and then 12 stacks of coven seals. So again, I wouldn't recommend doing this until you're like fully maxed out in the rift. And as you can see, I have it here. And then if I were to go to my equipment, here is my maxed out rift necklace. We don't know how to obtain this last one yet. There's potentially going to be an update for that coming soon. But that is as far as you can go. And then let me show you the overworld one. Here we go. So it gives you a good amount of strength, health, defense, and then a bunch of like wisdom and stuff, which is pretty good for any player. And the nice thing is, like, even as an early game player, once you hit level 12, you can hop in there and you don't need like any coins or anything, so it is really nice. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out a ton. And if you want another guide like this, let me know down in the comments below. What is your favorite part of the rift? So as always, stay magical. Goodbye.